So Robert Garcia recently tweeted saying that he would want to see a potential fight between Raymond Muratalla and William Zepeda. Of course, William Zepeda is a former WBC interim world champion, and Raymond Muratalla currently is the IBF world champion, isn't he? So yeah, I mean that would be a good fight, no doubt, because it's both guys who are pressure fighters. They're a bit of brawlers. They, throw punches inside. They've got high shot outputs, aggressive front foot fighters. It would be a good fight to see because we'd be seeing those two guys meet in the middle of the ring and getting it on. And from that point of view, this would be potentially competitive, especially with Raymond Muratalla's power and William Zepeda's volume. Not to say that either guy hasn't got the other, right? Muratalla's definitely got volume, and Zepeda, you look at his knockout record, he's clearly got power. Different type of power than maybe Raymond Muratalla, but in some ways it is a similar sort of power as well. Of course, Muratalla's coming off a huge win over Andy Cruz. It wasn't a dominant win necessarily. It was close, it was competitive, but he'd done enough to win the 12-round decision. And William Zepeda's coming off a shutout loss to Shakur Stevenson. Now, William Zepeda's a fighter who can only fight one type of way, and if you can handle that style of boxing, then you can beat him. Don't expect William Zepeda to really try and adapt or change his game plan. How he boxes is how he boxes, right? And I guess it will always just be a matter for his fights. Can his opponent handle what he's throwing at him? Because if he can, then he can beat him. But if he can't, then it's Zepeda's night all night long, right? And there's a part of me that does think Andy Cruz presents a tough-ass puzzle than William Zepeda in a boxing ring, even though the styles are completely different. Andy Cruz, in theory, should present a tougher puzzle than William Zepeda. So from that point of view, you do think, well, if he can game plan to beat Andy Cruz, he should be able to game plan to beat William Zepeda. And again, William Zepeda's not really fought anyone on the level of Raymond Muratalla, other than Shakur, who is, in my opinion, levels beyond Muratalla, right? And in that fight, it was a dominant shutout loss. Of course, they have got a common opponent, and an opponent in common. And that's Tevin Farmer, where William Zepeda went life and death with Tevin Farmer over 24 rounds, or over 22 rounds. It might have been. I think one of the fights might have been a 10-rounder. Went life and death with him. Very close fights, very competitive. Got dropped by Tevin Farmer, right? And then Raymond Muratalla dominantly beat Tevin Farmer. Not dominantly as you're going to beat Tevin Farmer without, basically knocking him out like Kid Austin did, right? But stylistically, it's a fight that I love. I would be edging towards Raymond Muratalla. Of course, he's the reigning champion. He's got the momentum. But on their night, if you don't prepare for William Zepeda right, and you're not ready for what he's going to throw at you, I could see William Zepeda being a guy that runs to a lot of guys at a decent level. You got to think, though, he is so one-dimensional that at the top level, even at 135, which is a tough division, you got to think these guys have got more than enough for you. Like, Andy Cruz, in theory, should have zero problems with William Zepeda. Should have zero problems with him. But it's boxing, and I guess anything can happen. I'd be super curious to know what you guys thought of that fight. Who do you think would win if Raymond Muratalla was to fight William Zepeda? Do you think it was a valid call from Robert Garcia? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Another episode of the Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.